guys, and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about valve spring compressor tools for the B series motors, particularly the non-Vtec B series. Your non-Vtec B series would include your B18A1s, B18B1s, and your B20 motors. Now, there isn't too many options out there for a valve spring compressor tool for those engines. The only one that I do know of is made by a company called HPT, and that tool runs for about $85 US, not including shipping yet. In my opinion, that's a little bit expensive, at least compared to how much a VTEC B series tool costs. A VTEC B series tool is made by many manufacturers, particularly in China, which is why it's so cheap. You can get one of these tools for about $20 Canadian shipped, or about $15 US, and that is again shipped, including shipping. That's about a $70 difference, and that isn't even factoring shipping yet. Now, I know some people have purchased the VTEC B series tool and have reported that it does not work for the non-VTEC B series. They are correct. It doesn't work right out of the box for a non-VTEC B series. You do have to modify the tool to get it to work, and that's what we're going to be doing in today's video. At least I'm going to be showing you guys what you need to do to get your VTEC B series tool to work with a non-VTEC. Now, you could try other tools like this here, which I've used for my D series. It doesn't actually work because there's not enough space in there. Now, there is another tool that does work, which is the C-clamping valve spring remover tool. And that is kind of tedious to use because you need the head off always to be able to use it. We want to be able to remove your valve springs without having to remove the head. And your only options are really the HPT tool. Now, after modifying a VTEC B series tool, you'll be able to use a VTEC B series tool for VTEC motors and non-VTEC motors. Now, this is the tool here. I've already modified this to work with a non-VTEC B series. Originally, this was made for a VTEC B series, and it obviously was made in China. This cost me $20 Canadian shipped. Now, it came with all the necessary things like this cup here, the bolt, and a couple bolts to hold this tool down onto the head. Now, I'm going to show you guys in a sec what you guys have to do to modify this tool in order for it to work for a non-VTEC B series. Now, you do need a couple additional things. Now, the non-VTEC B series uses a M6 bolt. Now, you need to purchase, I guess, or find two M6 bolts that are about 30 millimeters long. So I have a couple here that are like flange bolts that are about 30 millimeters long. Now you guys have to buy one of those. That will hold the tool down later for it to work. Now I will demonstrate the tool later and show you guys that it does work. Now let me show you guys what you have to do to get a VTEC B series tool to work with a non-VTEC. Alright, so this is the VTEC tool up close that's already been modified. Now when you purchase this tool, it will only have this hole, and this hole, and this hole. These 4 holes here were added by me, and I'll show you guys why you have to add these holes and how you would mark them off and drill them into this tool. Now, firstly, you will have to lay this out onto here. You'll have it like this. This will remove all the valve springs on the left side. So it'll bolt on here, and you'll keep going through, and this will work for all the left valve springs. So if you flip it over to this side, again, it's on the left side. These will work on that side. Now, in order to get the right side ones, you have to flip it around again. Now, you flip it around and drill these 2 holes here in order for it to do the right side springs. Now, for these end springs here, all you have to do is basically just match up which hole it is. Like, for example, this one will match up to this here, and then you'll just bolt it down. Essentially, just one bolt, and it would still hold and push and compress that spring. Now, we will demonstrate this in a bit. Now, how you would mark this off is just lay it out here, take your stud that comes with it, and thread it in. So depending on which valve spring you want to target first, you will be drilling 4 holes. So I would recommend doing the first 2 holes here first. So it will be always a hole on the end here and another hole here, and they will be evenly spaced. So what you would do is thread in this stud here, which will be the compressing bolt. And once you thread all the way through and it peeks out from the bottom, this will help you center the tool. So you'll center it against your valve. So as you're doing this, keep going until it touches the valve. And I'll bring you guys up close after I've lined it up. Back it off a little bit. There we go. And that's pretty centered. Now it doesn't have to be perfect. As long as it lines up, it'll be fine. Now as you can see, this bolt here is completely lined up with that valve. Now this is when you mark these bolts right here. So you mark off this one and you mark off this one here. And then you will just drill them out to M6 size, because obviously these holes here are all M6. Now, after you've drilled them out, this lines up for every single one of them. On the left side, like I said, the left valve, at least as you're facing this way. And that will hit, I guess, target 3 of the valves on one side already. And then when you want to do the other side, it would obviously, you flip it around like this, and then you would thread the stud into here, and same process, you'll line it up, and then you'll drill your holes. You'll mark it off, and then you'll drill your holes. As you can see, this hole here is lined up with that valve, and then you'll drill the 2 holes there. So those are where the holes need to be drilled, and then the tool will completely work for this application. Now I'll show you guys how it works right now. All right guys, so after you've modified the tool, make sure you wash it all off and get rid of all the aluminum bits. You don't want to get those bits into your head here. So like I said, the 2 M6 bolts, preferably use some flange bolts or use some washers with your bolts. So these will fit right into here. And that will hold it in place. Just move it around a little bit. There you go. And then here's your cup. You will put that in here as well against the valve, like so. And that fits, as you can see. Let me just show you from the other side. Right there. Now you would bolt these in tight with your ratchet. Doesn't have to be too tight, just so that it doesn't have too much of a gap. Thread this all the way through until it touches the cup. And then crank this down. And I'll show you from the other side that it has compressed the valve. As you can see, the keepers are kind of peeking up. Probably hard to see at that angle. Just flip it around. As you can see the spring has been compressed. At least you can see the left one is not compressed, the right one is compressed, and I haven't even compressed it all the way yet. And then once you compress it all the way, use a magnet, pull it out. Once you're done, release this. And it'll be nice and loose, and then you would unbolt the tool and then move on to your next valve. And there you go. That's how the tool works. Now, as mentioned, if you want to do the right side, you would flip it upside down because you've already drilled the other holes. Line it up like so. And same process, as you can see, this is perfectly lined up. And then you put the cup in there and it will compress the right side. So essentially, all you have to do is just keep flipping the tool and it'll work. And like I said, this tool has been modified, right? So it will work for both VTEC and non-VTEC now. All right, there you go, guys. That's how you would modify a VTEC valve spring compressor tool to work with a non-VTEC motor. Now, like I said, this is now modified so it works for both VTEC and non-VTEC, which is a win-win, and it only costs about $20 Canadian or $15 US shipped. And that saves you a little bit of money. Anyways, that's it for this video, guys. I hope this helps you guys out. If you haven't already, please comment, like, and subscribe, and share my videos. As always, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.